I have to fight the enemy. Richard? Somebody help me, please. I'll try my best for English. The only thing Peter asked me, what can I show somebody? And the only thing is I've got a snail murderer on the outside. No, it's outside. I'll show you a little bit later. And I think in the whole of the Western Cape, I think there's snail problems at this stage. Or snails is a big problem. And I started, say, 6-7 years ago with the tires, and I built this implement. But my biggest problem for it was to transport it from one farm to another. And last year it was one of my main problems, and February I started and I built that thing myself, and I can show you. It's only you put it's 3 rows of tires behind each other, and then the only thing you have to do, the back row, you put on the second row, and then I push that implement over the tires and I lower it, and you hitch it with chains, and then you put it up, and there you go. Only one person can handle it. And some interesting thing this year, I do all my fields with that tires, but the one camp I made silage, and I didn't use the tires on that camp, and they have got a snail problem this year. So that's my story. I don't know if there's any questions or somebody want to ask. Snail pulse, is it direct snail pulse? What do you call it? Pellets, I don't use it. It's only on that one camp where I made silage, and I didn't use the tire, what you call it, slipper. They have got the snail problem. And the advantage of it is the first thing, they crush the stubble. I can say, Richard, is it correct? So that's one of the main advantages, the snails, and the other thing is your germination of your weeds. It's very good for that. And I do it, you say if I plant in that direction, I do it 45 degrees, the tire with the plant rows. So that's why I use it. If the rain stops a little bit, I can just show you how or when we leave, I can show you quickly how I lower it and lift it again, if you're interested in that. So that's my story.
When you do this, what time before you sow?
You must start in February. The weather must be dry, and you can't start in the morning with the dew is still on the stubble. You must start when it's getting warm. And that's the main reason, say here from the first of, or the middle of March, the dew is, you can't do it, then the days are too short. So you must start in February. One of the disadvantages is wind, because your stubble is very light on the ground, and when you get a strong wind, it may be that the wind takes the stubble away. That's a problem. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
How much stubble do you have normally?
No, that's a problem. Last year we got a very good harvest, so there was quite a lot of stubble. You can't we can't plant if you don't use the tires, because the stubble, when we do planting during the night, it blocks the planter. So we have to do.
But what does the tires do? It spreads the stubble?
It spreads the stubble and it crushes the stubble, so that it goes easier through the tines of the planter.
So the purpose of the tires are to flatten the stubble and to allow the fine planter to go through the residue cells.
That's it, yeah.
That means if you would have a disc sealer, you would not need that implement. Is that true?
Yeah, but we've got stones. Do you know stones?
I saw some yesterday.
Yeah, this farm not so, but the farm where I stay, when you look, there is no ground, it's only stones.
I saw it yesterday.
Yeah. So with this planter, you'll only pick up dishes behind the planter.
You pick up what?
This. Yeah.
Perhaps Johan can tell you what he did in his experiment, because I was looking for soil and I didn't see the soil. I just only saw stones, and he had a beautiful crop standing there that was seeded with a distilla. Perhaps Johan can tell you
Now,
something.
for those guys of you that still don't believe that this seeder can go through rocks, please come to Riversdale on the 4th of September, and I'll show you it actually works in stones.
I think that's one of the problems, and it's a mind shift that we need to make. We have the opinion that the disc planters can't go, but I think the modern disc planters have the capability to go through. But once again, Quibus, as he said, he's using it as a combat to the slugs. You know, it's a slug combat tool more than it is about the material. And it helps to control and bring that population into some sort of acceptable norm. But I think the mind shift on the discs, I think we'll see, I believe in time we'll see disc planters running in the district. The results might not be what the knife points are, but I think it'll be acceptable levels as a way to manage material, especially if you're looking at some of the guys going onto continuous cropping systems, where they're going to retain all the material with no livestock or baling or matches being used.
No, I mean, this Quibus's method is a brilliant way of getting rid of the slugs now.
Yeah.
I would like to see the machine with this. For the Southern Cape guys that hasn't heard it, the Swartland guys are struggling with snails too now. Where you guys have 4 different types, they only have the one type, and it's a Boerdery